So we'll start with the kirtan. Bhajagure mana Sri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanaravinda Bhajagure mana Sri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanaravinda दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे करो हुए सिंधुरे अभय चरणारविंदरे सीता तप बतवरीसन हे दीन धामे जागिरे सीता तप बतवरीसन हे दीन धामे जागिरे विफल से विनो कृष्ण दुर्जन विफल से विनो कृष्ण दुर्जन सपन सुखलभ लागिरे अभय चरणारविंदरे वेदन यौवन पुत्र परिजन एते के आसे भक्ति रे वेदन यौवन पुत्र परिजन एते के आसे भक्ति रे कमल जल जल जीवन कलमल कमल दल जल जीवन कलमल बजहु हरिपाद रे अभय चरणारविंदरे श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदर पाद सेवन दास्य रे उत्थवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन पाद सेवन दास्य रे पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन गोविंद दासा वीराक्षरे अभय चरणारविंदरे भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदनंदन अभय चरणारविंदरे भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदनंदन अभय चरणारविंदरे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं जय श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarvrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayom Mudiraye Ashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama Namah Pankaja Manabhaya Namah Pankaja Maline Namah Pankaja Netraya Namaste Pankajangre Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Nama Namo Brahmanyaya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Nama Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarvrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukha Parvati Vachalam Pangam Langayati Girim Kripa Kamanam Mandu Shri Guru Dinatarinam Om Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarvavastam Gatopi Va Yasmaret Kumari Aksham Sabaya Abhayandram Shati Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. I thank you all of you for giving me the service and association for this continuously for 3 hours. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mautika Mataji and Kalyani Mataji for joining. Thank you, Padmavati Mataji for joining. Thank you, Jagannath Prabhuji for joining. Thank you, Ganesh Prabhuji and Prahlad Prabhuji for joining. Thank you, Sagar Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Shailaja Mataji. Thank you.
Dandavat Pranam. All
Dandavat Pranam,
glories
Mataji.
to Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Padmashri Mataji, for joining. Thank you, Abhishek Prabhuji, for joining. Thank you, Sarasija Mataji, for kindly joining the session. So, in the last session, we have seen the first part of the karma, which says, why do bad things happen to good people? Generally, when bad happens, we try to introspect what wrong we have done. So, the scriptures say that it is because of the bad karma or the good karma, we are facing the right or good or bad situations. So, since the last session, we have seen what is the reason behind it. So, none of us are innocent souls. So, previously not in the previous life, it may be in the previous millions of the lifetimes which have taken. But that karma is going to have come in any life. Karma, we have seen that karma will never leave any soul. It finds, just like a calf finds its own mother. In whichever body which we have taken, karma finds and acts accordingly. So sometimes the karma takes certain lifetimes. Sometimes the karma comes instantly. So in the next stage, in the first slide, we have seen when wrong happens, when without an understanding of this karma knowledge, when this wrong wrong things happen to good people, so what does it happen? So sometimes people tend to become atheist. Sometimes people spread this wrong notations. And in the next stage, we have seen the three types of the karma. So we have seen that it is not, we need to no need to see the what bad karma did we have done in the past lives, so that we are facing this problem right now. So we no need to correlate, because Krishna himself says in the 4.17, the intricacies of the karma are very hard to understand. So whatever happened in the past has happened. So we have to understand that because of my past misdeeds or good deeds, presently I am suffering or enjoying. So from now onwards, it is in our hands. So the choices which we make from now onwards is in our own hands. That is the power of the free will. So whatever happened in the past is called the destiny, and what actions which we can do to make our future life better is in the hands of the free will. So we'll see this, what destiny and free will and God's mercy, what are these trio, how these intricacies have play in our lives. We have seen that Krishna says to Arjuna, forget about the relations, why it has gone, and what is it, why is it causing the problems. Now we have to understand what action is, what the sinful action is, and what inaction is, and act accordingly. O Arjuna, act accordingly. Here, law of karma is beyond our material conception, with our jiva conception. For the fact, it is not in the jurisdiction of our jurisdiction. Only Krishna knows what is the what karma which we have accrued so far, and what we are going to do in the next. Everything is in the jurisdiction of Krishna only. So what we should do. So knowing what should be done, what should not be done, and what is the ultimate benefit for a soul, and if you practice accordingly, then we can lead a happy life and go back to Krishna. So here Krishna says that three kinds of activities are called the karma, or the pious activities, or punya karma. The first set is called punya karma, and the second set is called the vikarma, or the sinful activities, which is a forbidden activity. And the third is a akarma, inaction. By doing action also, it becomes an inaction. How? That is the akarma, the spiritual activities. So we have seen the karma, pious karma, as any action, and there is a we have also seen these slides. Punya karma refers to those activities which are prescribed and sanctioned by the Lord through the scriptures. The 80% of the Vedic Vedas contains the actions which should be done, which leads to the karma kandis. So karmis all follow these 80% of the Vedas to act according to the pious karma. So they accrue the good punya, and then elevated to the higher planetary systems. So what kind of some examples of punya karma: charity to the poor, distribution of the meat, all the good activities which we are going to do. We should do all this punya karma, because it is also prescribed in the scriptures. We should not avoid doing this, because anyway we are going up and down. So we should not avoid this, but just we Krishnaize this. So this can be this punya karma can be converted to akarma easily. So it is very difficult for a sinful person to come into the punya, to do good activities and then become a devotee. For a pious person, it is just one step for becoming Krishna conscious. So if everybody is doing this punya karma, continue to do it. So what happens is we'll get something material in gain. What kind of we can get nice riches, wealth, nice body, nice spouse. All those comfortable situations which we are getting are because we have done this certain punya karyas in the previous life or in this life as well. And then we have gone into seeing what are the sinful activities, which is nothing but violating the words of God. If you are acting against the rules of God, then you are doing the forbidden activity or sinful activity. All the Vedas are the word of God, which we have seen in the third session. So if we are not performing according to the Vedas or the scriptures, what the scriptures say, then that accounts to a sinful activity. So sin is usually performed because of ignorance only. A person does a sinful activity. Nobody of us will do sinful activities voluntarily. We are, because of certain reasons or certain conditionings which we have by because of the three modes of material nature, and if we are more in the tamo guna, we generally doesn't know the knowledge of the Vedas. The person who are in the mode of passion and ignorance cannot receive this knowledge of Veda and cannot act accordingly. So it leads to a sinful life. Because that's why the people are doing all. If I do not know, if I not study LKG, 1 plus 1 equal to 2, today I will write 1 plus 1 equal to 5. Because I have learned about 1 plus 1 equal to 2, in the future I will not write 1 plus 1 equal to 5. Because of these sinful activities, the knowledge is entirely covered by the soul. That's why people are doing the sinful activities. So what are the kinds of sinful activities? Stealing, meat eating, illicit affairs, all those things which we have discussed in the four pillars of Dharma are the sinful activities. So we have also seen in a section four pillars of Dharma: Satyam, Sauchyam, Satyam Daya, Sauchyam, and Tapasya. So in a one by one, in the Satya Yuga, Tapasya has gone. The pillar of Tapasya is broken. So people followed Tapasya. After the Satya Yuga is finished, at the end of the Satya Yuga, the pillar of Tapasya got broken. And after the in the Dharma, so Dwapar Yuga, at the end of the Dwapar Yuga, Saucham is lost. At the end of Treta Yuga, Daya is lost. Now, in this Kali Yuga, only Satyam is left out. But this is also going to be broken. When we follow these four regulative principles, then this dharma gets established. When this dharma gets established, it protects us. That's why it is called dharmo rakshati rakshita. How can we protect dharma? Dharma is beyond us. Dharma is given by Krishna. How are we capable of protecting this dharma? Dharmo rakshati rakshita. So how can we is by following the four regulative principles. No meat eating, illicit affairs, no intoxication, no meat eating. These four, when one person follows religiously, dharma gets established in him. And that dharma protects one from the major danger. What is the major danger? Because we are forgetful of our Krishna. That is the major danger. That gets revealed to us. So both, we have seen that both karma and vikarma are both bondages in this material world. If you do both good karma, we will be elevated to higher planetary systems. After that, all good karma is extinguished or exhausted, you will come back again to earthly planets again. And if you do the papa karma, you are forced to go into the jails or hellish planets and elevated again to the material earthly planets. So all these are conditions. All this, whatever maybe, this is going. This giant wheel is going up and down. We are going up and down, up and down. So this is called the samsara cycle. So whatever karma you do, good karma or bad karma, you are in the material world. Wherever in the material world we are, these four problems of life are not mitigated. What are the four problems? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Just the length may be different. So the facility for enjoyment is more in higher planetary system. Facility is low in the lower planetary systems. So wherever you are, these four problems in life still exist. Coming out of these four problems of life is out of when we chant the glories of Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Even unconsciously, if you chant this mantra, we will get lots of benefits for that. So we have seen can good karma. In the last session, we didn't discuss about the point of can good karma negate the bad karma. So I have done 2 good karmas and I have done 1 bad karma. So in a sense, I have 1 good karma. So will it happen like that way? It definitely doesn't happen. A good karma cannot and bad karma cannot negate each other. You have to suffer. You have to get benefited for the good karma and get punished for the bad karma independently. So I cannot say I have done 3 good karmas and 2 bad karmas, so I am in a positive side, I am safe. It is not like that. Every action should have a reaction independently. This is not a mathematics. A minus B equal to something. So one has to remember that we have to progress from our bad karmas, doing the bad actions to good actions, and then akarma. So what is akarma? Spiritual activities are called akarma. Only the activities performed for the satisfaction of Vishnu. When Vishnu is satisfied, that is called akarma. Just like we have seen the example, if a government is giving a AK-47 to a soldier and asks the soldier to kill the enemies. If the soldier kills the enemies, he will get a Paramvir Chakra. But if the same soldier goes into to his hometown and kills the other person, he will be punished. So actions given by the Lord should be performed accordingly. Because we don't have any selfish desires. It is not our desire. Like we seen the example of a mother. Mother serves her children without expecting anything in return. There is no desire which a mother expects from the children. That's like that. When we serve the Supreme Lord without any desire, that won't create any action. So that counts as akarma. Only akarma wipes out the karma and vikarma. By our own endeavor, we cannot do. Why we cannot do is the next. We will go in the next in the next slides. How there are various sources of karma. From different sources, the karma is acting upon, coming to us. Whether it is good or bad, from various sources, it is coming to us. If you see that when you discuss about that, you will understand that this karma, by your own endeavor, by our own endeavor, we cannot negate it. We cannot close the accounts. But only how can we come out of this material world? Only akarma gets, by the process of akarma, all your karmas get wiped off. By akarma, one develops devotion to the Lord, detachment for the worldly affairs, purity increases, spiritual happiness. It is said that purity is a force. When you are pure, then you can say something to others. That acts as a force itself. Our own actions, if our actions are pure, that conveys into the other persons. So that force of purity changes the other person even as well. Akarma liberates from one cycle. This liberates from the cycle of birth and death. It says birth and as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, it causes the bondage. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his. So, how can we? I'm a job holder. I'm going to a company and earning money. How can Vishnu be pleased in this? So, when we remember Krishna in our work, hey Krishna, because of you, I'm doing this work, and out of this, what we are getting is some amount of wealth. When we are using this wealth for serving the Krishna, then that wealth which you have accumulated will become a akarmic wealth. Otherwise, the same wealth will be binding you in this material world. what are the sources of karma? Our speech. Any harm which we have caused to others through our speech creates a karma. In the last session, Shailaja Mataji asked, if anybody, not only a parent, if anybody curses another person, in essence, what they are doing is, they are, Hare Krishna Mataji, you want to speak something?
No, Prabhuji, you were calling me, so that's the reason.
Okay. Last session, you have asked me a question that if a parent curses his children, will it accrue a karma? That was your last session question.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, here, because there I have given you the glimpse. I am here giving you the details. The same question, details is coming here.
Okay.
So it says, our speech causes the karma. So if we are demotivating others, the curse, whatever you are doing, if it demotivates others, then it creates a karma. It's a very bad situation. So Krishna has given this power of speech to glorify him. So whenever we speak about Krishna, that is akarma. These words which we use for such thing. Here we are not only speech and hearing. We are speaking something. You are asking certain questions to me, and you are sharing your realizations about Krishna. So that interaction will become a karmic activity. It's the same thing if we are discussing here about some movie. We are discussing about some hero, and that will become a karmic activity. But here we are discussing about Krishna, the same activity, which same act of speech has become an akarma. We generally have to be cautious about what we are speaking. In Bhagavad Gita, it is also said the austerity of speech. Speaking about Krishna, chanting this are austerities of our speech. Eating prasadam, all these are austerities of the speech. So you have to use our speech for only for the spreading of the Krishna. So even wherever you go, whatever knowledge you have, just share those knowledge with your colleagues, with your friends, with your relatives. Then that interaction will become a spiritualized interaction. Instead of speaking only about mundane politics and movies, we can speak about Krishna's pastimes. Don't use words to humiliate or insult. We should not humiliate others or insult others because after of which they become dejected. We never know. Because of our humiliated words, other person may commit suicide. That gory things may get accumulated in our karma, in our own karma activities as well. Instead of insulting and humiliating others, we can encourage others. Instead of saying that you have done this wrong, suppose if you have given a particular person an activity to do, and the person has done something wrong in that, you can say that you cannot just instead of saying why did you do like this, you should have done in this way. It is not, it's a waste, you are fit for nothing. Instead of saying all those things, you can encourage him. This is not the right way to do. So it causes a certain problem like this. So do it. If it were done like this, it would be a better solution. We can explain in the person in such way that you can, let's say, our figure of speech, our attitude matters others. Generally, we have seen in many offices, all those many persons resign and leave the offices not because of the money or because of better career opportunities. 80% of the people who are resigning from the office are because they are not able to tolerate the boss torture. Boss said, you what nonsense you have done. You have corrupted all this project. You are unfit. This is how bosses in the present corporates are torturing a person. That's why people are living. Instead of insulting and humiliating and saying that you are fit for nothing, you can say you can encourage them. Harsh words used as a part of duty is okay. When suppose something not always smoothly, you can say. Suppose you're constructing a house, so you have certain labor working under you. So you have to say that take this break. It is the project is getting late. Take this break and put it. You can say sometimes the harsh words, but if my harsh word is not causing insult to others, it's not a cause of insult, only to make the work done, then that won't accumulate any karma. However, they should be done in conscious. Sometimes parents, what you call chastise the children. They scold the children. The only intention of the parent is to correct the child. Then that will be a good thing. That will not accrue a karma. But if the same parent says you cannot, you're an idiot, if the parent says you are an idiot always, and the student will become an idiot. Child will become thinks that he's an idiot, and he lives an idiotic life. Why the parent is scolding them? If the intention of scolding by the parent is to progress the child in the child's future, that is a good thing. Instead of that, if somebody is discouraging, then that harsh words will become a bad karma. So our speech is a source of karma. Our behavior, any behavior which affects others negatively. Nowadays you can see many people says, నేను ఇలాగే ఉంటా, నేను అలాగే ఉంటా, accept me as I am. This is a many common statement which we see. Accept me as I am. Why should I accept a person as he is? If I am employing a particular candidate for my job post, if the candidate is rude, I know I've seen that he is the rude person. He or she is a rude person, and if the person says, "Accept me as I am and take me into the post," why will I accept if he is a rude person? I won't accept the person who is a rude person. Even if the person is less in knowledge, if he is inquisitive to learn something, I may recruit him or her. But if the person is arrogant and rude, why should I accept as his? So it is, I said, accept me as I am is a wrong conception. It says my ego is the highest. And not only that, the way we dress, the way we move in the public, there are many people who said to me, we have to live ourselves. Whatever it is in the society, we have to live in ours. Yes, that's correct. We have to live for ourselves as well, but we should not forget that we are in the society as well. Our action will impact somebody in the society as well. So every one of you are leaders here. Everyone who is sitting on this call is a leader. Not only on this call, every 130 crore people. How many people are there in this world? Everyone is a leader. So everyone is following. Somebody is consciously or unconsciously following me. I don't know who is following me, but my actions are impacting certain people. Sitting here, if I'm speaking to all of you, my words and speech, my behavior will definitely impact all of you. If I say it's a wrong way, you will be directed in the wrong direction. So I should be in a proper consciousness before I'm delivering and talk to you. So here, if I sit and instead in the name of spirituality, if I talk about movies, so what impact will you get? You will be misdirected. Our behavior, let's say, we should be caught. Here, we are discussing little bit sensitive topic is going to come in the next few seconds. Sometimes we have to deal with this, even if it is so sensitive, we have to deal with this because we are dealing with karma. These are certain, especially in this modern world, this topic right now, will create an insensitive issue. But we'll have to deal it in some way. Behave as per Vaishnava. Earlier in a Vedic lifestyles, in a very 300 to 400 years back, our Vedic lifestyle was a Vaishnava etiquette only. It's our Vaishnava. Wearing a dhoti, wearing a tilak, the speech. Whenever we greet to others, we should greet nicely. We used to see other women as mothers. We address all women, whether it is very small or big, as mothers. Why? We are seeing like a mother. But what happened to this present generation right now? Behavior which agitate others. Some behaviors agitates others. Our own behavior agitates others consciously. Like here we have taken an example of suppose a girl who is dressing improperly. Whether a girl or a boy. Sometimes boy shows the six packs. Sometimes movie stars all the shows the six packs, open the shirts, causes problem in the different desires in the girls, or heroines exposing their bodies and causing the disturbance desires in the general public. Not here we have taken one example of a woman who has been who is dressing in a revealing clothes. So it is applicable even to the boys as well. But we have taken this as an example. If a girl wears a revealing clothes, and if you ask why are you revealing that, why are you wearing this type of cloth? Generally, we get today is it is my desire, it is my own money, it's my own body. What is it to you? Nobody is going to listen. If you go and ask any lady outside, why are you wearing a revealing dress? This is the statement. This is a response which we get. My wish to wear this dress. Who are you to question me? So here I will ask you, what is the problem in wearing a revealing clothes? What is the problem in wearing a revealing clothes? It is up to their wish. I have a chat here. Hare Krishna Sailaja Mataji, is the audio clear right now? So what is the...
Yes, good.
Thank you. What is the problem in wearing the revealing clothes? What do you think happens when a person, whether it's a male or a female, wears a revealing clothes? Type your answer in the chat box. Okay. So this is, we have seen in many news also. There are many big persons who has condemned the way that particular heroines are dressing, and they got backlash on that. There are people causes. Sagar Prabhuji is saying causes irritation. Mautika Mataji is saying that it causes irritation. So irritation means some kind of agitation. Why it's a problem? Why should be it's a problem? It doesn't cause irritation to all of us. It's create disturbance. Yes. Raja Prabhuji is saying it's create disturbance because they all are correct. It's irritation, disturbance, all these are causes because not every person is in the same kind of consciousness. The consciousness of each and every person is different. There are different levels of consciousness. One may be a higher level of consciousness, which it might not affect the person. But one who are in the lower conscious state of consciousness, they cannot, it creates agitation in them. That's why what happens, if it agitates someone else's partner. So till that time, his wife might be a very good cultured, from a very good cultured background, wearing all the traditional clothes and serving her husband nicely. This person, his husband, who got agitated by this revealing dress, demands the same kind of dress to be worn by his wife. But the wife says, "Hey, I cannot wear this in a public. If you want, if it is your desire, I will wear in a private way for you only. I am yours. I can wear it for you only, but I cannot reveal all my body to public. No question." Husband says, "No question. Tomorrow we are going to a party, and you should wear this type of dress only." This agitates till before this incident. This person did not have any desires of revealing clothes. Now he got a desire seeing the particular lady, and he wanted his wife to wear the same thing. So this can be made to opposite also. Like husband and wife can interchange. This is only one set of example, but it can interchange to others also. So what happens when this person agitates? The wife, who is coming from the cultural background, cannot wear this kind of a dress in the public. She says no. So what happens is desire is not fulfilled. Then he now, instead of in the mood of satisfying his desire, he relates to another woman. He joins with another woman illicitly. So what happened? Another illicit relation has started here. This husband has cheated his wife, and what happened? This later has got into separation. It causes a divorce or separation in the family, because this husband was not in a pure state of consciousness. We know that not everybody is in a pure consciousness. So what happens? Because of this lady who has who has worn a revealing dress, caused disturbance in this family and resulted in divorce. In the next, maybe in the same life or in the future life, when she gets married, she might get a divorce, because in the previous act, you have agitated another partner and caused their family to be disrupted, and in an illicit way, you caused illicit action in them. And when such thing happens to this lady again, you'll think that why is a bad thing happening to me? I have not done anything wrong. This is why we are getting the bad situation. We do not know what we have done in the previous lives. This lady has caused, through her behavior, a certain problem, which created karma to her in this lifetime or in the first lifetime. This she doesn't remember. This the soul doesn't remember. And when she is reborn, or in the same, when she gets a divorce, then you will question. She will question, why is this God doing all this to me? I am such a nice person. Why is this happening? The relation might be something like it. That's why in our societies, like in our ISKCON society, in any bona fide spiritual society, whenever there is a sannyasi or brahmachari sitting when addressing or in a congregation, we are said to do, men should be on one side and women should be on the other side. If men and women move freely before the brahmachari or sannyasi, and if it causes agitation in them, they have taken a vow of celibacy. It is very difficult to take a vow of celibacy, especially in this modern time. And if because of our behavior, if it agitates a sannyasi or a brahmachari, and it causes a much severe karma. That's why when we approach a brahmachari or sannyasi, we should be wearing proper dress and we should be in a proper state of mind. That's why in any spiritual section, authorized spirituality, these men and women are made to sit in a separate way. Our every act is counted, and there is a reaction for every act. For every behavior which you are showing, there is a reaction happening. If a spiritually inclined person, like I said, if a sadhu or a brahmachari who has dedicated his life for sacrifice for serving Supreme Lord, if we agitate that particular saintly person, then the effect is very, very serious. We cannot imagine the karmic fate of the artist who we have seen in many movies. What called heroines stand like this, in a nice position, standing in a nice way, exposing their bodies. Even heroes who shows a six-pack and style, what happens to them? They become the trees in the next life. You stand for thousands of years without any dress. Tree doesn't have any dress. You stand in a fixed location. Don't try to agitate others. Stand there naked for thousands of. This is what you want, Rana. The pose which you make, you will become the same pose as a tree for thousands of years. So imagine how much this karmic effect these movie persons, movie stars, sports stars, all these are creating themselves. I have seen a hoarding when I was going on a road. I have seen a hoarding which sells and it gives an exchange of sofa sets. There is a big banner. On the corner, there is a small sofa, old sofa, and a big picture of a lady with a with a half dress. So, what are they trying to? Are they trying to convey that we exchange this old sofa for a new sofa, or are they trying to attract persons because of this female model? What kind of we cannot imagine the karma which these people are going to get. This creating so much disturbances, especially in the minds of youngsters. Our actions, any action which causes harm to others spiritually or anything materially, also creates a karma. Our mind, as last session, Raja Prabhuji has asked, if we think, does it create a karma or a not karma? We have seen that if it is if our action of thinking is in the mind, it doesn't cause any karma. But what is this problem with the mind? When the same thought comes into our mind, it converts into an action. That is the problem. In all the previous yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, actions for even thinking caused karma. Fortunately, in Kali Yuga, thinking doesn't cause any karma, but the problem is if we think, we'll act upon it. That is the problem. That's why our thinking should be guided in a proper way. In Kali Yuga, thoughts don't cause problem, but it leads to a karmic reaction. Forgive me for the little bit slow in the changing of slides. Please give me a. So, what else are there in this? There are several other sources of karma. There is a big laundry list. What are we'll see a few of this in quick succession. Big karma of dependents who are dependent on your guidance. There are many people who are under our guidance. First is our children. Children are the first who seeks our guidance. If the children causes any vikarma, then that vikarma gets to the parents. Teacher, student is dependent on the teacher. The vikarma of the students leads to vikarma of the teacher. As a person who is responsible, they have to incorporate the good values in the dependents. If we are not doing that one, and if the children are going in the wrong directions, then that vikarma gets into our account. There are many dependents. Not knowing our parents are dependent, but sometimes our parents are dependent on us, children are dependent. There are some other persons who are dependent. If we are not guiding them properly, their karma will, so their vikarma will be falling on us. Such is the nature of the karma. Vastu also creates vikarma. If the Vastu how the house is improper, it creates agitation in the mind. The Vastu is nothing but it's a like a, you can say it's a cross ventilation and cross all these things. Cross ventilation. The sufficient amount of heat, light, and air should come in and flow into our houses, which creates a nice ambience and nice state of mind. When person is in a nice state of peace of mind, he can understand the spiritual knowledge very well, or he can have a good thinking. When this vastu is not proper, it causes agitation in the person and leads to our akarma. Sorry, vikarma. Vikarma performed by others in our family. Prabhuji, what are you telling right now? Even the family members, like uncle, all those things, if the family members are doing the wrong activity, some portion of their wrong activity falls on us. Because why it should be? We know that something is right and what is something is wrong. If we are not guiding our family members, even after knowing that they are doing the wrong, it leads to being wrong. See, not only doing wrong thing, knowing the wrong thing and not acting upon this is also wrong thing. In nowadays, because of the nuclear, we can say that their family is their family, my family is my family. It's not, doesn't happen like that. Family is a family. Whether you are staying in the nuclear or to get joint family, the karma of vikarma of the family comes onto the other family. It gets distributed among the family members. So, but then we have to do our best to guide our family. Our action should be there first of all. Whether the family changes or not is a secondary thing. But seeing that the family member is doing the wrong thing, if you are silent, then vikarma falls on us. We have to do our bit of service. We have to advise our family members. This is not the right way to do it. The rest is up to their own free will. We cannot make them. We cannot make everyone in a correct way. But what is there in our hand is our suggestions which we are giving to family. Vikarma performed by others in the same locality. Prabhuji, what are you doing? What is this? Even the same locality, if the people in the same locality are doing vikarma, that portion of the vikarma comes into us. Imagine how many slaughterhouses are there. How many animals are being killed. What violences are happening around us. There are some portion of vikarma comes to us. Vikarma performed by country in which you reside. Vikarma of the Indians. If you are in India, vikarma of the Indians come to us. If you are in America, vikarma of Americans come to us. Babuji, it is too much. But what happened? I cannot do anything. I cannot do anything because it is given by in the scriptures by Lord Krishna himself. The vikarma of the whole country, some portion of that comes to us. Imagine how many gory incidents are happening in our country right now. How many rapes are going, how many murders are going on. That's why in the olden days when pious kings were there, they had so much wealth. pious kings has so much of wealth. Did they create any recreation centers? Did they create any swimming pools? Did they create any movie centers? They have used almost all the wealth for the construction of the temples. Why? The similar type of SSR classes were to be held in the temples. The main purpose of the temples was acts as a spiritual educational centers. The science of self-realization courses were given in the temples, but in the nowadays there is no knowledge is being spread by the temples. Only Kotra, Archana, all this is happening. That is not what Krishna is looking for. Krishna is looking after this person realizes himself and come back to me. So this all these pious kings has invested their amount in the spiritual centers as temples. There were not even a trace of one police. There were no need of police, lawyers, all these things. This is a current day situation. We require a police, we require lawyers, all these things. There was never a situation in the olden times where police or lawyer was there, because everybody knows that what they are and how much satisfied they should be. That knowledge was given in the temples. So kings knew that if any wrong action is happening in the country, it falls on the citizens of the family, citizens. That's why they used to educate everyone in the spiritually. Vikarma performed by leaders of our country. Who are our leaders? CM, PM, Mayor. The Vikarma created by them will be shared by us. Some portion of this amount comes here. That's why the king should be spiritually trained. That it's said in the Bhagavad Gita, if the king is misguided or is not religious or spiritually oriented, it leads to famine with spread of this all spread of this diseases, drought. All this happens. Why? Because the king is not spiritually oriented. Yet Acharya Shrestha. Every people, Krishna says that every person will follow their leader. A leader can be by through his actions, leader can be leader by wealth or by opulence or whatever it may be. Everyone looks after somebody and act accordingly. If that leader is not proper, it leads to his disciples downfall. Imagine how much karma which we are getting. These leaders are opening slaughterhouses, all wine shops, which are again all sinful activities. We can see many sinful activities are going on. That portion of vikarma comes to us. Now tell me, how can you or how can we avoid this? Without my knowledge, the actions of other persons also are affecting me. So, with our own endeavor, we cannot negate this karma and vikarma. We cannot come out of this material world, material cycle. This is only a small tip of an iceberg. All this list is a tip of an iceberg. It's just tip. Please give me a second. So there are innumerable sources of karma, and there are innumerable effects of karma. So karma is not one-to-one relation. Many actions may lead to one reaction. One action may lead to many reactions. It is not only one-to-one. It is one-to-many and many-to-one relation. There is no point doing the with all these pujas, homa, yajna, you cannot come out of this karmic cycle. No homa, no yajna, no nothing in the present day will bring you out of this material karmic cycle. The cycle of getting and releasing from karma is, now you can see there are so innumerable ways it is coming. How much protected will you be? It is unending. You cannot end these things. Astrological charts and powerful stones in fingers will only postpone the effect, but suffering cannot be stopped. There are many people who goes to the astrologer. When a bad situation comes, they go for astrological predictions and see what kind of stone they have to wear to minimize to avoid this karmic cycle, to avoid this negative situation. It may temporarily reduce the pain of the karma, or it may temporarily postpone. But one day or the other, this again the same karma is going to come. Now I have to face particular bad thing. If I wear a stone and this bad thing goes to the next, it is postponed. It's just postponed for a later stage. Maybe it may postpone to a next life. So why do we need to postpone our karma? So we have to suffer it anyway. Today or tomorrow we have to suffer it. So if there is a good situation in us as well, when we say that we are suffering bad karma, what is happening? Your bad karma is getting burned. The good news is that all your bad karmas are being burned. And when all these bad karmas are being after burned, you will get again a nice blissful karma again, good karma. But there is a bad thing in it. When you are experiencing good situation, when you are experiencing good karma, that good karma is also burning. When that good karma is burning, next you have to face the bad. This is a cycle. Bad and good and bad and good. So there is good in bad and bad in good. There is good situation in bad karma and bad situation in good karma. So all this, what if you go to the astrological charts, put powerful stones, it might benefit you. But what is happening is your karma is being postponed from now to the later stage. Why do you postpone? Anyway, you have to suffer. In any way you are going to suffer. Why are we postponing our sufferings? Understanding and handling. How do I understand this karma and how can I handle this karma now? I have understood, I have known that these are the three kinds of karma happening, and these are the sources which is from where the karma is happening. Then how can I handle the situation right now? How can I handle it? Concept of karma is not for mapping action and reaction. The karma sequence which we are doing, which scriptures are giving, is not designed to know what linkage is there between action and reaction. It is not the motto of the scripture to find out action and reaction. Instead, it is for performing our actions in the correct actions. Suppose I have put a finger in my finger in the candlelight. It generally burns. It burns it. But what happened? Because I have put this thing in the candle, my finger got burnt. It is known that when I put my finger in the heat, it gets burnt. So what happens? What should be done? My correct thing. Tomorrow I should be very careful when dealing with fire. That is the thing. We should be. Our consciousness should be. It's not at always because I have done this wrong. I'm getting all is wrong. By knowing all these things, how are we transforming ourselves? That is the purpose of the karma. When we correct our actions, the purpose of karma is successful. Stop blaming God for all the events of life. Now we have seen, did anywhere God got involved in this? No. We are the one who created this bad situation and good situation. Then why are we blaming for God? We generally say when bad things are happening, only God has done it. When good things are happening, we have done it. So stop blaming on God. God is not the causing the pain in us. It is our own actions which has caused our pain. Thank God for providing an opportunity to understand this material world. This material world is full of dukhalayam. This is dukhalayam. So from every side, some kind of pain is coming on. If not here, from unknown sources, this pain is coming. So you should, after knowing this, you should thank God. Now I understood this material world. If I stay in this material world here, I am going to be crushed. And this law of karma is going to act upon me. So thank God. This material world is created as a training center. This is a training place where we are trained sufficiently, and when sufficient training is happened, then we are placed into the spiritual world. Sympathize anyone suffering. As a devotees, we should be compassionate to others' pain. Not that if somebody is in pain, we go and say it is because of your bad karma you are suffering. This is not the mode of a karma or mode of a devotee. We should sympathize others' pain. After Draupadi Vastraharana, did Krishna say because Draupadi, because of your bad karma, you are faced this humiliation? Did Krishna say that one? Krishna knows all the karma life cycle because he is the designer. He knows all the laws of karma and he knows what actions did Draupadi do. But Krishna never said to Draupadi because of your fault you are experiencing. He said, I am sorry, Draupadi. I could not come in the time. He said, I am sorry. If Krishna is doing like that, why are we imposing this karma knowledge on others? Karma should be taught to each and every one so that he or she will understand his situation. But we cannot be so hard-hearted that because of your karma you are facing. We should be compassionate. We have to understand their pain and they minimize their pain. When this pain, if we minimize their pain, then they will be receptive to us. Then we can give this karma knowledge to them. Saying it's karma is also a rule. It is also a rule, harsh speech. Because of your karma, that is a harsh speech. That again creates a karma. Just support the person. If the person is in a pain or in a difficult situation, support him. Everyone knows about the karma, but they need a conducive platform to fix it. All of us know what is karma, vikarma, akarma. Then we require a conducive platform for that. Even to apply all these things, you have to be a conducive way. Our understanding nature to others in that platform. There may be a question that, okay, we have denied the God. We do not understand the God. We did not understand the law of karma. Then why are the devotees facing the reversals in the life? Why are devotees suffering? If they are all devotees have surrendered to the Lord, so why Krishna is giving pain to the devotees? Lord Krishna, we are born with a certain karma within this body. In this lifetime, I am supposed to burn certain karma. Devotee has to burn certain karma. That is fixed. Because the person has taken to the service of surrender to the Lord, Krishna is just fast forwarding this, all the karmic life cycle. He just hit the fast forward button. So all the karma, good, bad, all these things are coming at one go in a very fast way. Why? Krishna is very eager to take this devotee back home. So he wants to remove all the karma and take away from this back. The moment we take up this bhakti, Krishna removes all this karma. So what happens is, he takes all our karma like suppose it's a coin and puts it in a pocket. Krishna puts all our karma in our pocket and gives us a nice situation where we can perform bhakti. Sometimes devotees also tend to deviate. So when the devotee is lightly deviating, Krishna pulls one karma out of it and throws it on the devotee. Now then people will say, now devotees say, oh, I forgot you. Oh, Krishna, thank you for reminding me. Now I will not do again the same mistake again. And the devotee's seriousness in the devotional life increases. He just keeps the karma in his pocket. Whenever the devotee is tending to go in the wrong direction, Krishna throws that karma on the devotee. That's why it's just only to bring the devotee back to the track. Suffering to devotees are mere reminders and cautions released by the Lord from our own karma balance to stay in the fixed path, the devotional path. Character of a person can be known with sometimes Krishna wants to test his devotee. Whether this person, every one of us buy certain products after testing. We see all this, whether this is good, bad, whether this is meeting as per my needs. We'll do certain tests. And then only we'll accept the product. Krishna also, before giving bhakti to any person, before accepting any as a devotee, Krishna also tests the devotee. He sends a provoking situation before the devotee. And he will see how the devotee is reacting in the provoking. Here, how many Ravanas are sitting? Do you know how many Ravanas are sitting? There are 13 to 14 Ravanas. Every one of us are like a Ravana. The problem is Sita is not in front of us. When desire like Sita comes before us, our Ravana tendency comes out. Till the time we may be a very nice person, nicely speaking, nicely doing activities, we are maybe good to others. But when a provoking situation comes, how the devotee reacts to that provoking situation, that determines his surrender. Krishna gives this karma reaction to test his devotee. How much surrender is it to Krishna? Generally, what happens? If there are when advanced devotees, when they are suffering these problems, they say, like example of Kunti Maharani. If you see in the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, there are prayers of Kunti Maharani. Kunti said, "Oh Krishna, in this all the time, like in all the previous situations, you were there. When Duryodhana burnt our house, you protected us. When we are sent to exile, you are there. When I am disturbed, you came as a protection to me. In every difficult situation, you were there for me. Now everything is Yudhishthira has become a king. Now dharma is established. Everything is in a dharmic way. There are no pains, anything, and you are leaving for your abode. How can I remember you, Krishna? Please give me immense miseries, so that I can remember you." This is what a devotee thinks. Devotee thinks the pain given by Krishna as a blessing from Krishna, as a remembrance towards Krishna. So there is another called Prarabdha karma and Sanchita karma. Not generally two types of karma, but the way of accumulation differs this karma into two: Prarabdha and Sanchita. Sanchita karma is a whole till we are from the day one of the material world till end of the material world. All this karma together constitute to be Sanchita karma. All this database is called Sanchita karma. From that, based on his body, so based on the amount of pain which a body can take, we can Krishna gives the amount of pain which we can tolerate. That amount of pain, that amount of karma is given as prarabdha karma. Is that portion of the karma that has fallen? When all this is all karma within this lifetime is called the prarabdha karma. Karma across whole lifetimes is called this sanchita karma. It is according to the prarabdha karma one is born. According to the amount of prarabdha karma, you will get a different type of a body. Either it is in a certain family, certain kind of a body, whether it's nice body or body with a defects, certain amounts of happiness and distress. This is like a gray amount of happiness and gray comes because of this prarabdha karma. Certain kinds of death and so on. How peaceful death or how uh, very painful death, even the karma decides how what level of death, what kind of death we are going to face. So what? So if everything is happening according to the karma, there is a prarabdha from Sanchita karma. You have given me some prarabdha karma. By God, I have not decided this prarabdha karma. Why I should get this? You have decided this is your karma. You have to suffer in this way. And why should I get again a reaction to that? Somebody has decided this prarabdha karma to me. And why should I be suffered for that? Okay, I have done something wrong or good in the previous life. So why should I again be getting reactions to that? The getting our reactions to all our past karma is nothing but the destiny. It is nothing but aggregate all the karmic reactions summed together is called the destiny, which are bearing the fruits right now, or which are going to bear it. The reactions which we have born or are going to be born in this lifetime is called the destiny. The destiny of our present life is simply our, we can say that destiny means our prarabdha karma. Therefore, it is truly said that man is, we know that this prarabdha karma was accumulated by we only. We have accumulated all this karma, and that is the portion of the karma is coming to me. We are the makers of our own destiny. That is why in Western philosophy, it's also they say man is a maker of his own destiny. This is the what the meaning of that. Because we have created a karma and we are suffering for that karma. So if everything is happening as per that, can I come out of this again? So what should I do in the next? What should I do in the next course of my life, so that this karmic reactions come down? Is there any situation? This is action is creating a reaction is creating an action is creating a reaction. This cycle is going on. So is there any way that I can do to stop all these things? Two ways destiny is understood by people in general. There are two ways. Generally, people understand this destiny in two ways. There is called karmavad, who talks about karma all these times. There is a daivavada, but there is a wrong conception of daivavad and correct conception of daivavad. There are two ways, karmavad and daivavad. Karmavad says, I am in the control of everything. Everything works based on my actions only. Karmis, they think that I am the doer. And every action is being done by me alone. That's called ahankar. What is ahankar? Aham karoti means aham, I am the doer. All these people, all these people are thinking that I am the doer. That is why it's called karmavad. So he says that Karmavad says that people following such philosophy in life look very confident. These people, they say that we are that work very hard, and when we work hard, we'll reap the fruits. Like you can see, like many communists, all those peoples, we can see that they're doing. It is because we have done the right hard work, and we are the bearer of the fruits. It says, "Dunne vadeva bhumi." Many people have slogan, "Dunne vadeva," because we have invested our energy by way of our hard work, and we are reaping the fruits for that. And these people look very energetic and confident. Just when something goes against, if something goes against their plan, they all the plans they will make. If one wrong happens with them, they will curse the God. They go into depressions. You can see many movie stars, many stars who are popular. They think that popularity. They have earned this popularity by their own actions, by their own way of acting. They got a popularity. But when suddenly some bad situation occurred to that person, what did happen? They went into depression and ultimately went into suicide. So when we think that we are the doers and anything wrong happens, it leads into a depression state. So what does Daivavad say? But this Daivavad is having incorrect understanding. Incorrect understanding of Daivavad. What says? Everything is done by the God. I don't know. I don't need to do anything. See, we have seen that karma, everything. God, now I am not a doer. So who is the doer? The God is the doer. We are the instruments in the God's hands. So this person, this Daivavad, will say that everything is done by the God. Okay, everything is planned by God. I will sit idly. So God decides what to be done. So we'll say that everything is my fate. What can I do? I cannot change anything. These are the various statements which we hear. These are statements are correct, but these are incorrect understanding. If God is not the ultimate doer, again, so I will wait for the God to do. If it is destined, God will give it to me. If I am destined for wealth, God will give it to me. If I am destined for a good health, God will give it to me. So we'll stop. This person will stop acting. So here, Acharyas will say that they give a contemporary allegorical example of a farmer. So farmer sows a seed in the field. So what does he do? He plows all the things and make the field ready. Put the seed, and then he has to wait for the rains to come. So what this Karmavadi will think that it is because farmer only sowed the seed, and now farmer is only the doer. If a farmer is only the planted the seed, because the seed has come out, is the farmer has to enjoy that seed. This is the logic of the farmer karma. But who has given the rain? Did any materialistic or scientist person or a farmer created the rain? No. It has to come in a natural way. The rain has to come, and the atmosphere, climate should be favorable for that seed to sprout. So there is certain other factors also. So karmavad fails there. So farmer is not done. Farmer can only put the seed. What is Daivavad till there? Because I say that farmer waits for the rain to come. When rain comes, seed sprouts. But he forgets to plant the seed. He will not put the seed. He will wait for the rain to come. Do only the rain and the favorable environment sprout it? No. Farmer has to also put some seed. Then on the top of that, when this rain and favorable climate comes, the seed sprouts into nice tree. So there are two ways. There are two things in this. One is our action, and the other is God's action on it. That is correct conception of a Daivavad. We also this is the incorrect Dhritarashtra philosophy. When Krishna went as a Duta to Duryodhan, to advise Duryodhan to avoid this war, and when he went there and explained all these things to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra said, "If everything is destined to me, it will happen to me. Supreme Lord is there before you, and He can wipe out all these things. He can change your destiny." And you are saying, Dhritarashtra is saying before him that if it is there in the destiny, it will happen. So such is the blind nature of a Dhritarashtra. This is Dhritarashtra's tendency. He had to make the right decisions for his family, but he did not. He simply blamed his destiny. He could choose. He has every chance to stop the war, but he did not take the choice. He left it to his own destiny. So Daivavad, what is the correct understanding? Daivavad correct understanding is I will do my part. I will do my own activity and as per the instruction, not whimsically. I will do my activity as per the Lord's way, and rest is up to the Lord to decide what it is to me. The Lord determines that. We will do our report. Let the manager decide whether the report should be accepted or not. First of all, we should do our report. Like that way, devotee or dharma bhavat thinks that let we will do our own act, we will do our part properly, and then give the results to Krishna. This is the right understanding of destiny. A farmer depends both on the weather. If he is an idle farmer, he depends both on the weather and his planting the seed. He depends on both. He does his part of seeding. Rest is up to the Lord. Even if one of them doesn't work, he will not get his crop. So God, that's why he said, God helps the one who helps himself. That is the meaning of God helps one who. You do your part according to him. Leave the results to him. That is what Krishna is telling. So, can I know what is there in store of me? Can I see what is happening, what is there in the previous life? Can I know my destiny? Sometimes it is very clearly visible. You can clearly know. Our tendencies will predict it. If I am smoking, it is simple to know that I will get a cancer. Our own tendencies will say that what is going to happen in the next life. If you are drinking alcohol, we will die with liver cirrhosis. There is no great science required for that. If you are doing all kinds of nonsense things, so only nonsense will happen the next. It is very easy to say. Our tendencies right now will give what is our destiny, what is in store for us. Astrology is a science to see our destiny based. If you go to a good astrologer, he can predict, we can see some of our past karmas, and he will suggest remedies for that. What is astrology actually? The astrology is nothing but it's a Vedic mathematics. So based on certain calculations by angles and rotations of the planetary motions, they can conclude that what is going to happen in the future, because they know that this past, and if you allow the past to continue like that, it will creep into the future. That's why they recommend, in order to make people, generally people are not pious. We all do sinful activities. If given a chance, we'll be doing the sinful activities. But because of the sinful activities we are doing, because they give certain remedies which act as a pious activities. So when we do this, all this what we call certain types of puja, all those things, it leads our good karma, and we can have a better life. So they slowly diverting us in towards the spiritual life. We are in a sinful life. Slowly, by horoscope, they are moving us into the spiritual life. Can destiny be changed? Can I change my? The people will say, man is a maker of it. If man is a maker of his destiny, can he change it as well? Yes. We have every choice to change our destiny. If we change our karmas, we can stop our destiny. Suppose today till now I am a sinful person. After this class, I have understood that these are all the sinful activities which I need to avoid. And if I make a progressive way plan to correct myself and lead a pious life and do all the good things right now, surely our karma gets changed. What happened with the Valmiki Ratnakar? Valmiki was Ratnakar before. He was doing all kinds of sinful activities. And then he came to know that this is the sinful activities which you are going to face. What did he do? Did he leave it for destiny? No. He accepted the words of Narada and changed his uh, behavior, and he left all the acts, all the things, and went into meditation and meditated on the form of Vishnu, on the form of Ram. Then he became the Valmiki. Then what happened? His destiny became changed. He was a sinful person. Now he is a great sage. Truly, his destiny has changed. Who has changed his destiny? Nobody has changed. It is the intervention of Narada, and it is a free will of Ratnakar that transformed that Ratnakar into Valmiki. So we have every opportunity to change from Ratnakar to Valmiki. If God knows everything, then where is the question of destiny? Doesn't God know that we are going to suffer? Doesn't God know that what kind of destiny we have and what kind of destiny we are going to do? Does God know that when are we going to take this bhakti process? Yeah, God knows everything. He is the God. If he doesn't know, he is not a God. He knows each and every aspect of us. He knows what was our destiny, what are we going to get, and when he knows. Even today he knows that he may know that after 40 million lifetime, this person is going to take bhakti. God knows it. If God knows that after 40 million births, if I'll practice bhakti, then why am I doing bhakti right now? If God knows that I'm going to surrender to Him after 40 million lifetimes, then why are we doing this bhakti right now? What God does, what even God is surprised that He knows that after this 40 million lives only, this person is going to take up this spiritual process. But we have a free will to do this bhakti process, to have this bhakti process even right now. We can decide. If we decide that today I'm going to do the bhakti, Krishna immediately solves our problem, and he will take back to God. All our karmas get established, get wiped off. Krishna immediately takes us in this lifetime. He will not wait for 40 million lifetimes. This person, because this person is 40 million lifetimes, so I will wait, Krishna will not wait for 40 million. If we start this bhakti right now, it is our own free will. Then Krishna will take even in this lifetime. He will not wait for 40 million lifetimes. God knows our tendencies. Given a situation, how do we react? He knows the tendency. Then we know our children's tendency and act accordingly. Just like that, Krishna knows our tendency and acts upon that, acts to correct those tendencies. God provides the knowledge to utilize our free will. Whatever God is trying to do is, He is creating a favorable situation where we can use our own free will, so that we can change our destiny. If everything is based on the karma and destiny, then we have decided, see this. If everything is based on the karma and destiny, what is the role of God here? So I'm doing bad things. I'm getting the bad. I'm reaping the bad benefits. I'm doing the good things. I'm getting the good benefits. If everything is happening between destiny, me, and the karma, so where is the picture of God in this? So what is His role? God's mercy is it. The code of God is in His mercy. Suppose here there is an allegorical example. Suppose on the outer ring road, a Mercedes Benz, a high-end Mercedes Benz is there, and a Luna is there. If they two decide to do a race, who will complete the outer ring road first? Who will do the circle of outer ring road and come to this particular location first? So generally, we all know that Luna is going to lose this battle. because this is a high powerful car. Can Luna win this race? Yes. When this helicopter comes and picks this Luna and takes this Luna, carries this Luna along this outer ring road and puts there, then Luna can win. If helicopter intervenes there, Luna can win the race. This helicopter is nothing but the God's mercy. We have even seen there was a race between Lord Ganesha and Kumara. So whoever goes across these three worlds and dips in the ocean, all the oceans, and comes first will be counted as a prince. But the vehicle of Ganesha is very rare. It's very small, and not only that, Ganesha is hefty. Naturally, the movement of Ganesha on this vehicle will be very slow compared to the Kumara, Kumara and the peacock. Peacock is very swift in flying, and he is also very thin. So naturally, he is supposed to be the winner. So what did Ganesha do? He chanted the names of Lord Ram and circumambulated across his parents, Shiva and Parvati. When he circumambulated all these three, because of the mercy of the Lord Ram, he won the race. So what is the difference between these two races? The God's mercy is the only difference. So when all the cycle is happening, in order to come out of this cycle, only the God's mercy happens. Even if you do all the bhakti, you may be chanting the 16 rounds, you may be reading all the knowledge, getting all the knowledge, you may be attending many satsangs. If we are not favored by the God's mercy, we cannot go back to God. That is the only thing what we are trying right now by bhakti is we are seeking the mercy of Lord Krishna. We are not by our own intelligent abilities, by our own Sanskrit studies, by our discussions, we cannot go back to Krishna. By our own actions and all this bhakti process, if Krishna is pleased, then he will shower his mercy upon us and he will take back. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2. This is all this Varnashrama Dharma and occupational duty, all our actions are for Samsiddhir Haridoshram. It is only to please the Krishna. All our actions are only to please Krishna. When Krishna is pleased, he will shower his mercy upon us. When that mercy comes, he will take us back to God. He will back us to his own abode. Till that time, God doesn't interfere in any of our free will. God is independent and he has given us the independence. Krishna never interferes with our own independence. Not never. He wants us to go back to him. See, if there are two, if we see in general marriage, when the two persons, a boy and a girl, both favorably decides to stay together, then the relationship sustains. If either one or both doesn't like to stay with one another, the relationship cannot last for long. It gets broken. So both of them has to use their free will and make the relationship work. Then only the relationship goes further. That is also what is happening with the Krishna. Krishna waits till we decide we will be related to him. Everything going is here is a relationship problem between Krishna and us. There is a relationship between Krishna and us, problem with us. So when we decide that now I will be related, now I will come back to you, I will be related to you, then this relationship works. And till that time, Krishna waits and he creates the favorable situation around us to exercise that freedom. That is what he is trying. By giving all these comforts and everything, he is trying to inspire this free will so that one day this soul comes back to him. So if God already knows when I will come back to him, then what is the karma? And if he knows it, what is the purpose? When we can execute our free will to delay. It is with our own free will, we can delay our spiritual life or we can expedite. It is irrespective of your bad karma or good karma. Today, even in a bad situation or in a good situation, if I decide now it is a time to end this cycle, and by this we decide, Krishna, I have decided to come back to you. Every one of you have also decided by joining all this, joining these sessions and regularly hearing and doing all these practices, you have declared to Krishna that I'm ready. I have started my spiritual journey. Krishna, please support me in this spiritual journey. So with our free will, we have all decided that we are going back to Krishna. Then our spiritual life started. It is we only who are delaying and fast forwarding our going back to the expediting our journey to home. When Lord Krishna bestows his causeless mercy, then it overtakes. What is this causeless mercy mean? We are speaking about causeless mercy, all this. What does this causeless mercy mean? First of all, mercy means, or causeless mercy means, even though we are so fallen, we are not capable. We are not fit for the particular position. Even in the such a bad, ill-fated situation, Krishna, you have given me such a nice opportunity. That is called mercy. We are not desirable for that particular. We, by our all endeavors, we are never eligible we are never qualified to go back to Krishna. But Krishna, seeing our condition, one day he picks us back. That is called mercy. We are not allowing Lord Krishna. With our own free will, we are stopped. Hey Krishna, please wait. Okay, I am doing all these things, but please wait. How many of us are ready here? If Krishna comes before you, if Krishna joins this call, Zoom call, and says, give me a list who are ready to come back to Goloka. Are you ready? Nobody of us are ready here. If Krishna joins this Zoom call and says, now I'm ready to take all of you back, come back to me, I will take you back. How many of us are ready? No one, none of us are ready. We say, okay, Krishna, it's okay, we know that we are coming back to you, but let me solve this problem here. Or let me do this activity here. That is why Krishna is not coming here. So one day, when bhakti is so sufficient that Krishna decides, come back when we are ready to go back. Then we will be going back to Godhead. It is because of our own free will. Why are we in this material world, first of all? When we are in the spiritual world, it was very blissful. Then why did we come to this material world suffering? Because we misused our free will and we have envied on this Krishna and came back here, came to here. This is because of the free will. We have, so free will is so powerful, we even reject Krishna. Even sometimes you see, in normal material world, if you tell something good to suppose some person, good, not good, or something, give some advice to others, you see a great force. Hey, why are you telling? I'm doing. I know what I do. Why are you going to tell me? In a great voice it will come. Did you feel that energy anytime? That the energy is such that it causes pain in your face. The force of rejection to the good advice is so high that you can really feel it. That is the power of the free will. Here there is a question, Kiran Kumar Prabhuji. Is it correct that there was a time when we actually stayed with Krishna in Gaur? Yes, Prabhuji. Every one of us stayed with Krishna one day. But there are two categories of people. There are Nitya Siddhas and Nitya Bhaddhas. So there are many people in the spiritual world. Out of that, few souls have decided that I want to experience, I want to become the Lord, and I want to enjoy this Lordship. So because of the free will there, certain souls have rejected Krishna and come back to this material world. Just like that, just like when a mother says, "Hey child, don't put your hand in the in the flame; it will hurt you." But a child says, "No, I want to put my hand." In a what a child forcibly puts his hand in the stove on a flame. What happens? It gets burned. When the child realizes that this, if I put my hand in this fire flame, then I am going to get hurt. From the next time, he will not dare to put the hand in the fire. Like that, we also has rejected Krishna's advice. Krishna said that to all the souls that you cannot enjoy this in material world. Here only the spiritual world gives you bliss, but all the souls have rejected Krishna. So when they feel that this heat is there, when they actually feel the pain of this material world, the soul decides to go back home. When it goes back home, it knows the experience of this material world and it will never come back to this material world. Did I answer your question, Kiran Kumar Babuji? Hare Krishna, Kiran Kumar Babuji. So, all of us, one day, we were in the spiritual world because this is the free will. And because of this free will, we have rejected Krishna and we are in this material world. When we feel that heat of this material world, then only we'll decide to go back to Godhead. When we go back to Godhead, there is no point in returning. That's why it said in Bhagavad Gita, the persons who know about me and my activities never come back to me. Why? We understand that the good and good situation in spiritual life and bad situation in the material world. So when we know or when we understand this, why will come back again? We know the pain here. Nobody are willing to undergo the same pain again. That is what Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. So you can experience this very well. People will reject you, reject yours. Then we can feel that energy in us, energy hitting us with that same amount of energy on the face of Krishna. We have rejected him. The day we pray, do what it takes to take me back to my eternal world, home, Lord Krishna. Then we realize when you pray to Him, Krishna, please take me. I'm unable to bear this pain here. Please take me back to you. Then Krishna starts acting. So, what is the destiny of a devotee when he surrendered to Supreme Lord? Here, it is little bit sensitive again. So, what happens to a devotee when he surrenders to Krishna? So, what is he saying in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:88:88? The personality of Godhead said, if I specially favor someone, I gradually deprive him of his wealth. I'll remove all his wealth. Then the relatives and friends of such a poverty-stricken man, relatives abandon him. I'll take all the wealth, opulences, and these relatives, or so-called relatives and friends, they abandon him. In this way, he suffers one distress of the other. Krishna is saying this. One day, when we surrender, He is going to take all our wealth, all our properties, everything. All our relatives come, abandon us. Then we'll face poverty situation, poverty stricken, and this one distress of the other comes. But after what is he saying in the next verse? When he thus becomes, when the particular person becomes frustrated in his attempts attempt to make money and instead befriends my devotees. I will. So, or bad situations. There are many bad situations, but one bad situation will be so painful to all of us. Then we will take when we take shelter of the devotee. When such thing happens, otherwise we fail in an exam. Okay, we'll write the next exam. That may not be a painful situation. That taking away of the wealth means he will create a painful situation such that we'll take the shelter only on with the devotees. So when he becomes frustrated in his attempts to make money, here money means not only physical money, it's a wealth of all the things, material world. And instead befriends my devotees. When this soul comes in association of a devotees, then he will shower his mercy upon him. So first of all, he is going to remove all the wealth, put all the distresses to the to the person, and that person out of his bad situation, he will take the shelter of association of the devotee. Then, when he starts taking the association of devotee, the Krishna showers his mercy on him. By meaning of association of devotee means not association physically, not only physically also required, but mentally. Means when a pure devotee is asking us to do something, we should be ready to do it. So next, a person who has thus become sober. Now, what happens by this process? This person become a very sober person. Then he will fully realize the absolute truth. Then he will understand the absolute truth as it is, the most subtle and perfect manifestation of the spirit, the transcendental existence without an end. In this way, realizing that supreme truth is the foundation, then he is freed from the cycle. So, it means that Krishna doesn't take all of your wealth. Doesn't mean that physically he only takes all the wealth and make you into rich, like a beggar. One day he will make the desires of that to come out. He will he will not remove all the things, but one day he will remove the desires towards the wealth. Though you have wealth, but you will not be desired to hold that wealth. You will use that wealth for the benefit for the Krishna service. So we are not attached to the wealth. We are not attached to the property. By all this process, Krishna gives us the knowledge and leads to the detachment. Then, are we ready to surrender to Krishna? What is the benefits of fun? So don't get fear that if I take shelter of Krishna, I will be going onto the roads. It doesn't happen. We will not become a beggar on the roads. We will not lose our life. But the desire to enjoy those wealth changes. It changes from the materialistic to spiritual. Till now, we are using this wealth for our own sense gratification. What are we using this for? We are using this for four activities. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maitra, Java. These are the sense gratification desires which we are using our own property intelligence for. But when we take this shelter, this materialistic idea will be removed and spiritual idea of will get it. Then we will use the food for the benefit of Krishna, body for the benefit of Krishna, wealth for the benefit. He will remove all desires and he will give you nice spiritual desire. That was the three verses. That is the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 3 verses it is saying. Our desires to enjoy changes. Benefits of understanding the law of karma. So fear of God or law of karma fear of God is the starting point for our spirituality. It might be a trigger point where we'll take to the spiritual process. So fear of we are generally afraid of our parents. If we do something wrong, parents might chastise me. So because of this chastisement, I will be. My parents used to chastise when I was in the school days. When I get very low grade, they used to chastise me. Now, because of this chastisement, I am in a good position right now. So, like when the child understands this, so that because of this chastisement of the parent, I am in a good situation. Like that, when the chastisement of Krishna is there, only for our benefit, then it will lead into a spiritual life. The fear of devotee is only one. The devotee fears that he might forget Krishna. That is the only fear a devotee has. Person with knowledge of karma can make sense of, by when you know what is happening. Till now, know why we do not know why it is happening when what is happening. Now, because we know that because of my karma, such a situation is happening. I should not have done like that. So I should not have done like that. So from now, my ability to take decision consciously increases. So I purposefully avoid the sinful activity. Then I purposefully take up this shelter of Krishna. That is what is happening. Devotee is always blissful in any condition. Devotee, in every condition he is there, he is always blissful because he knows that he is not bewildered by any kind of loss. Devotee is always blissful in whatever situation you throw in. Devotees trust in God and his bigger plan to bring him now back to Godhead. The only trust a devotee is by all these things. What Krishna is doing is he is planning something so that he is going to take me back home. That is the trust which a devotee has. Non-devotee cannot understand this. A devotee understands, has complete faith in God because God is doing something for me. God is something, is my well-wisher, and he is planning my my career, my whole life, so that one day he is going to take me back home. That is why devotees are always blissful. In whatever negative situation it is, devotees are always blissful. One starts depending on God, and when understand this character, we start depending on God. There is now in the wrong concept of material world is material world says that, especially in the modern day, everyone should be independent. Why you should have your own independence? Yes, Krishna has given you independence, but when you have to use this independence for the dependence on Krishna. See, when a child depends on the parent, is the child happy or morose? The child is dependent on mother for feeding. Child is dependent on father for nice education. He is dependent and he is getting the nice benefits out of it. Child is very happy. See, when there is example of Arjuna. Arjuna decided to kill Jayadratha. So, because Jayadratha was the cause of the death of his son, and Arjuna wanted to take revenge on Jayadratha. He decided, if I am not going to kill Jayadratha in the next day, before the sunset, I am going to die. I am going to leave this body. He has taken this decision, and he left this decision on with Krishna. Now, Krishna, it's your turn. On that, if you take such a great decision, we cannot sleep in the night. But Arjuna was peacefully sleeping. Tomorrow, he has to fight war of his life to kill Jayadratha. When he doesn't kill Jayadratha, he has to end his life. Imagine if we are in such a situation, we cannot sleep in the night. We'll all plan. I have to go in this way. I have to go in this way. I have to first pass through this Bhishma. We will not plan all those things. We'll start planning it. We'll lose all our sleep. But what Arjuna did, he has left everything to Krishna. Now I have made a decision. Now it's the time for you to act. Now who is peaceful? Krishna is peaceful or devotee is? Arjuna is peaceful. Arjuna is the most peaceful. Now Krishna is deciding what I should do with this Arjuna. Now how should I save this Arjuna? He created a situation where the darkness comes. Yes, using his Sudarshana chakra before the sun, and he created a dark situation. And Jayadratha came out. When Jayadratha came out, so that he removed the Sudarshan chakra out, and bright sunlight came. Now it is very easy for Arjuna to fight. Till that time, Krishna was only the planet. Arjuna was just fighting. He's doing his activities. He has taken decision and left to Krishna. Sometimes even Krishna also teaches by saying that you have taken the decision. Horses have not taken the decision. Your horses cannot run as fast as you think. It needs certain rest. Sometimes Krishna teaches with us, just to enhance our rasa with him, our relation with him. He will just sometimes he teaches, but ultimately Krishna will protect his devotee. Then that is why depending upon the God is most important. Taking his shelter, first of all, we are peaceful and we can understand what is going on. All anarthas are in the control when one understands this law of karma. So when we know that what should be done and what should be not done, we purposefully avoid doing the wrong things. By this way of knowledge, we avoid doing all this nonsense. There is no reason to compare. So why should I compare with? I know that I am suffering for my past deeds. Why should I compare with others? Today's world is full of competition, rat race, competition, everything. Why? Because we do not know. Sometimes this karma even acts on the children. If the children is not able to perform well in the exams, parents should understand that it is because of the karma. You have to give tuitions, all that you have to do. But you have to understand that even the child is going through a karmic cycle because of their bad situation. They are not getting a good grades. But what are we doing as a parent? We are doing. You are putting in this like in this college here. They all this rubbed philosophies, rubbed the knowledges. So we are forcing our child to get a good mark. If you don't get a good grades, you are fit for nothing. That is what our parents are. That is what parents in this current generation are doing. That if the parent understands that even my child is going through a bad situation, he will be compassionate. That is the benefit of understanding the karma. Lord Krishna removes bad desires and also our inner cravings. So, how do we get the freedom from our karma or vikarma? The holy names of Krishna is the only shelter. By chanting this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By chanting this mantra, we can avoid this. We can come out of this the cycle of karma and vikarma. They said, see, God has invested all His mercy in His holy name. His holy names are non-different from the Krishna. Just by chanting them, we are relieved of all miseries. In Sri Sikshastakam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Namnam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Turudaivam Vidrisham Vihajani Nara. What does this mean? Oh my Lord, your holy name alone can render all the benedictions. By the chanting of His holy names, we can get all the benedictions. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. And thus, you have hundreds and millions of names of Krishna in Govind. Chant those holy names, and we will be free from these karmic reactions and vikarma reactions. We get eternal grace. Now today, everyone has attained certain graduates. Suppose one is a BTech, other is an MTech, other is a Master of Sciences. There are certain different levels of material qualifications. We have done PhDs. Will this degree come into our next life? So when we take another birth, will the degree come to the next life and we are ready for job with our BTech degrees again? No. When this body is finished, our degrees, our accumulations, all are finished in this world. But when you do this, when you chant this holy names, if I chanted only 16 rounds in this life, when I chant in the next life, it comes from the 17th time. It is eternal. It is eternal spiritual bank. When you chant this holy name, it goes in. It is eternal bank account. So when we take another life, we can start with the right from the location. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, you have said that spiritual activity is the most important thing. Suppose if a person before he is perfect in the devotional service, his devotional service comes to an end because of various reasons. So what happens to a particular person? So the Krishna says he will be elevated to the he will be given a next chance by by taking birth in a devotee family or in a pious family or a pious Brahmana family where everything is taken care, and maybe in a rich family where the basic needs of roti, kapda, makan are taken care, so that the soul can start practicing spirituality again. So the spiritual life continues again from the life. We have left, at suppose at 10th stage 3, we have left our body. When we start our spirituality, we start from the stage 4 and in another body. But that won't happen in the material veins. That is what eternal credit means here. It is in this endeavor there is no loss of it. But there is no loss in doing the spiritual life, spiritual career, all spirituality, which there is absolutely no loss and little advancement. Salpasya asya dharmasya trayato mahadapya bayad. By doing small little advancement on this, even small advancement in this path can save you from most of the dangers. It will remove all major dangers. What is the major danger? Fear of death. Fear of death is the major fear which we are facing. Fear of death is minimized. In Vishnu Sahasranam, actually inauspicious condition is ever imposed on the devotee. There is no actual inauspiciousness on the devotee, and thus they not have to take a birth again in this material world. So when we do all these things, okay, Kiran Kumar will say. So I'll for your benefit, I will repeat your question and I will try to answer your question again. Is it, Prabhuji has asked that, is it correct that there was a time when we actually stayed with Krishna in Goloka or Vaikuntha? Yes, every one of us were in the Goloka and Vaikuntha earlier, every soul. But some souls have decided, because of which they decided to enjoy independent from Krishna out of their free will. Krishna never interferes with our free will. These particular some souls had decided to enjoy apart from the Krishna. So Krishna has, out of for our benefit, has given this material world as a training center, so that when we understand the difficulties which you are facing in the material world, just like mother says to a child, don't put your hand in the fire, it will burn you. The child won't listen, and out of his arrogance, child puts in the finger in the fire, so it gets burnt. So after getting burnt, in the course of his or her child's life, it won't put his hands in the fire. So it has, because it has already experienced a bad situation when the hand is in the fire. So similarly, these souls, which has out of its free will, misuse it out of its free will, decided to go out of Krishna's, go away from Krishna, comes to this material world. When the souls understand that this material world is Dukhala Ashaswatam and this is not my place, and decides to go back to Krishna. So when it goes back to Krishna, it knows it has an experience of the material world. So it never decides to go back to material world again. Yeah, that's why some souls come into this material world after understanding all these problems. When it goes back to spiritual world, it doesn't come back to this material world again. Did I answer your question, Kiran Kumar Prabhuji?
Yeah, Prabhuji, that is, I understand that. But even in Goloka also, while staying with Krishna and enjoying the transcendental bliss, how is it possible that we become averse to Krishna, or we forget him, and we come into an illusion that we want to stay independently, like the illusion we see in this material world? I think I'm confused. How is it possible in Goloka?
Even great acharyas say that somehow or the other we have fallen this way. Only reason is we have rejected Krishna. That's all.
Yeah, very many places I read like that, but no one has clearly mentioned why. What is that? Somehow they have not mentioned. Somehow they told that somehow we have fallen. But exactly the reason
Exactly.
no one has told.
Because even that is happening as per the Krishna's desire also.
Yeah.
That is also as per the Krishna's desire.
Okay.
It happens someday or the other one. The soul comes into this material world. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly whether it is in the second canto or third canto. I
Okay.
don't remember. There is a sequence of fall down. It is given.
Because of.
I'll see whether I can find it. I'm
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
whether to second canto or third canto, first part of
Okay.
Bhagavatam
Yeah.
clearly describes why way. Only thing is because of the misuse of our free will,
Yeah. Yeah.
we wanted to independently enjoy with Krishna.
Yeah.
Why such a situation has come is not
Exactly.
I don't know about it.
Exactly. How these
Maybe
the
it's
millions and billions of souls, how everyone has become, rejected Krishna and Goloka and they become independent, and why they were forced to come down. It's very surprising, actually.
actually say there are 130 million people in 130 crore people in India. Not
Exactly.
all are in jails. Only maximum of 1 crore people are in jail. Maximum.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Only, like that material world is 1/4 portion of this spiritual world, where
Yes.
somehow
Yes.
they have rejected this authority of Krishna.
Yeah. Somehow it happened. We
Somehow
don't
it has happened by Krishna's, you can say by Krishna's mercy, by Krishna's will only.
will only, yeah, because
Some,
we don't
we
we are
don't
not
understand the Krishna properly.
exactly. That is the reason. Okay, bro. We should accept like that for now.
Yes, yes.
Maybe Krishna only can answer after we go there.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, well, if you want to, I also, you are actually right, right point, touched upon the right point. Even I asked and if I got, you have remembered me. I
Yeah.
asked the same question.
Yeah.
Then my Shiksha Guru said, you go and ask when you asked to Krishna, why did you do like this to me?
Yeah. At
Go
many
back to him and
places,
ask.
Prabhupada also told like that only at many places.
Yes, Prabhu.
Why don't you go to Goloka and clear all your doubts from Krishna?
Sir.
He told like that.
You're touched upon the right point. This is the right point actually.
Right point, exactly. Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Sorry for disturbance.
Yeah, no problem. So, before concluding the session, so concluding the laws of karma, so what is Brahma is trying to tell? There is a prayer in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is this is saying? In Bhagavatam 10.14.18, Tatte anukampam susamikshamano punjana evatmakrat vipakam Prudavagavapubir Vidan Namaste Jiveta Yo Mukti Pade Sadhaya Bhak. So what? Repeat after me the translation. My dear Lord, one who has earnest waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy. Let it load. It is taking some time to load. Please forgive me for that. So what is Brahma saying? My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his mass misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for a liberation, for it becomes his rightful claim. What does Brahma says that by facing all the difficult situations, by tolerating all the provoking situations, by tolerating all the reversals in our life, and if we are willingly waiting for the God's mercy, and we are respecting, we are doing obeisance, paying obeisance to Lord, Supreme Lord, by our words, mind, and body, it is the right of a jiva to claim this position. It's that we have heard many times. Swaraj is my birthright. It's my claim. Swaraj is my claim. The independence is my claim. There is a person who said this, like that. You, every jiva, if we perform all these things, patiently tolerating all the reversals, all the provoking situations, all the good situations, and paying respectful obeisance to Lord, Supreme Lord, and waiting for his mercy, it is his right. Now Jiva can claim that this is my right to go to back to Krishna. We said insurance policies, when we meet the terms and conditions of insurance policy, we have the claim, we can claim that amount. Every claimant can claim it. Like that, we can claim our property. What is that property? My right to stay in the spiritual. That is what Brahma is saying. That is the end of this karma. So till this session 9, the law of karma, 80% majority of what Vedas are going to tell, we are completed. In essence, we are completed majority of, we touched upon majority aspects of what all the Vedas are trying to say. This is the end of what Veda. But in the next, what is Veda concluding? What is the concluding statement of the Veda? It has explained by all these shastras. We have to take this guru. We have to why bad situations are happening. This is what you do all these good things. Avoid these bad things. This is what Veda has elaborated told. But what is Veda concluding? Veda is concluding it with ultimate reality, ultimate truth, with absolute truth. That is the course of discussion in the next session, session 10. Who is that God? Who is that absolute reality? Why he is the only absolute reality? Actually, we have a confusion that we have only one God or many gods? Are gods many? Christianity, they say Christianity is very clear. They have only one God, the Jehovah. Muslims have one God. They call it Allah. Do we have multiple gods or only one God? What is this Veda trying to say? What is this absolute truth? Actually, this session should be this is planned for 6-hour session. Actually, who is God is planned for 6-hour session. But since we cannot do 6-hour session in this Zoom, so what we are trying to do is we are splitting logically into 2 sessions, part 1 and part 2. We logically conclude at one point, and in the 11th session we will deep dive into why this person is the supreme personality of Godhead. What is this? So next is the ultimate goal of our spiritual life. Don't miss this next 2 sessions. This is the entire conclusion of all the Vedas which we are going to discuss. Logically, theoretically, scientifically, why this person is called. This is the most important. The purpose of entire science of self-realization is to convey this point. So, and don't miss this next 2 sessions. After that, we have the purpose of yoga and practical application of the Bhagavad. Now we have seen all the theoretical knowledge. How do I apply these things in my practical life? So we will be dealing in a practical way in the last session, practical applications of Bhagavad Gita. After this, when we finish all the sessions of SSR, we will deep dive into next level of understanding, where we will understand each verse of Bhagavad Gita. That we will go planning after the SSR. So let us continue the spiritual journey together. Don't try to miss the next, especially the next 2 sessions. So if you have any other work, postpone that work. If you have, say that you have another appointment, you have another important meeting, but please be available for the next sessions to come together. So if you have any doubts at this point of time, you can please unmute yourself and ask, or you can type it in your chat box. Hare Krishna. Anybody having the doubts? So if there are no doubts, let us conclude this today's session with the Narsimha Arati. Narasimha Pranam. Namaste Narasimhaya Prahaladalai Hiranyakashiporvaksaha Silatankanakhalai Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimho Yato yami tato Narasimha Bahi Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho Narasimha Marim Sharanam Prapadye Tavakara Kamala Pare Nakam Adbhuta Sringam Kalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Kesavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tavakara Kamala Vare Nakam Adbhuta Sringam Galita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Kesavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narasimha Dev Narasimha Dev Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपद परमहंस परिवेदाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद इस डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवेदाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वंद की जय नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय प्रेम से कहो कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधकुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय मथुरा धाम की जय नवदीप धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल गौर all glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to assembled Hare Krishna all glories to assembled Hare all glories please please forgive me if I have spoken anything wrong if anything hurt to you there are some sensitive topics which we have discussed in this if I have spoken anything wrong please forgive me as you forgive your servant. Thank you everyone once again for tolerating me for the last 3 hours. Thank you everyone. Thank you Abhishek Prabhuji for joining the session. Thank you Sagar Prabhuji for joining. Thank you Padmavati Mataji for joining. Thank you Raja Prabhuji for joining. Thank you Moktika Mataji for joining. Thank you Sarsija Mataji for joining. Thank you Shailaja Mataji for joining the session.
Pranam
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare. Thank you Sri Ganesh Prabhuji and Prahlad Prabhuji for joining. Thank you Jagannath Prabhuji for joining. Thank you Subharo Prabhuji for joining the session. Thank you everyone. All glories to you. So we'll meet in the next session to decide who is the God? The first part of the session, who is the God?